Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm Jade. I'm the 310 Stitcher here on YouTube and Facebook as well as Instagram. Sorry about the light. I'm going to try to keep my head pointed down a little bit. So I am here today to start my WIP parade. I have no idea how long this is going to be. It might have to be in multiple parts, but I wanted to take the opportunity today to do that. That's gonna really irritate me. Okay. Sorry about the lighting. It's a very, very dreary day here in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. It has been snowing and it's very, I don't know, it's kind of it's not snowing right now, but it looks very foggy and it's just very dreary and overcast, I guess is the better way to put it. Anyway, like I said, welcome if you've been here before. If you haven't, then also welcome. I hope you enjoy what you see, and I'll give you a quick little synopsis of me, since I know that a lot of people find floss tubers for the first time via the WIP parades. I love WIP parades. I really like long WIP parades. So like I said, I have no idea how long this is going to be, but I'll start with a quick little thing about me. Like I said, my name is Jade and I live in Ottawa with my husband, 2 kids, 1 dog, 2 cat, 1 turtle, and many, many fish. And many, many, many WIPs. What do I like to stitch? Mostly I like full coverage. I do have several non-full coverage as well. I'll show you those as we get to them. But really my jam is the full coverage. I love it. I had an issue I had some health issues where there's a coordination problem between my eyes and my brain and my hands, and actually cross stitch became sort of a therapy for me in that respect, and it's been great, and I loved it, so I keep doing it. I try to cross stitch every day or almost every day. I also knit and crochet. More knitting than crocheting lately, but I do show some of those things on my regular floss tube channels as well. I particularly like knitting socks and shawls and hats and sweaters and tops and all kinds of things. And blankets. I have many blankets on the go. Cross stitch wise, like I said, mostly full coverage, mostly some quite large full coverage. One thing that I'm not crazy about is samplers, and samplers that have, in particular, samplers that have alphabets on them. That's just not my favorite thing to do. I have samplers that are just flowers or nature samplers. I like those. I think they're quite cute, and I have some favored designers. I'm not a huge fan of the primitive look. It's just not my preference. But I do love to watch floss tubes where people do stitch those things, because I love listening to them talking about their projects and getting excited about their projects. How do I decide what to stitch? Well, I typically set goals at the beginning of the year, or at the end of the year in this case, for the following year. So this year, for 2024, I had set goals for each of my projects. Actually, let me back up. At the start of last year, I think I had about 42 projects, 42 WIPs or works in progress. And what I did was I took 24 of them. I chose 24 of them to bring into 2024 to work on, and then the remainder were in a temporary timeout, so I don't think I touched a single one of them, maybe one, and I focused on those 24. Then I went through all of those 24 projects and I put goals associated with them. So generally a percentage goal, whether it's 3% or 1% or 5% or 50%, and figured out how many stitches I would have to do per week on each of those projects in order to meet my goals for the end of the year. These are not set in stone. It's just something for me to aim for. I am a goal maker. I like making goals for myself, having things to shoot for. And so that worked really well for me. I had, out of those 24, I had 6 projects, or well, actually at the beginning, if you watch my WIP parade from last year, you'll see more like 8 or 9 focus project, what I called focus projects. And then I dropped that partway through the year because there were just too many, and there's no way I can meet all those goals. So I dropped it down to about 6, and those had bigger stitch goals than all the rest. So I would just, every week I'd just pick which one I felt like working on and started with that one, and then the next time I would have 5 and then 4 and then 3 like to pick from, until I got through all of those 6. And then if I still had time, which definitely hasn't been the case lately, but if I still had time, then I would choose from the other 18 projects to stitch on. So that's what I did last year. This year I will also have a few focus projects, not nearly as many as there were this year. I'm also going to play a Monopoly game where I have a different WIP associated with each property, and utility and chance and community chests and all that stuff. Pasco, jail, all that stuff has a different WIP associated, because I like to touch more of my WIPs, if not all of them, than the majority of them. And I think I have most of them. Other than anything that I start between now and the end of the year. So that should be good. And then other than that, I just want to stitch what I want when I want. So like I said, the focus projects, the 3 or 4, are going to have some more substantial goals. The other ones are just not numeric goals or percentage goals. They're just work on them. So I really want to eliminate the stress. So that's it. And I also want to do some more knitting as well. So I want to leave some time for those projects as well. Okay. One quick last stat before I start showing you the WIPs, and I'm sorry we're already 8 minutes in, but in the past 12 months, so I took actually from mid-November till mid-December, so I got a full 12 months in. I'm sorry, from the end of November of 2023 to mid-December of this year, so 12 months plus 2 weeks or whatever. I figured out how many stitches I have completed, just for no other reason, just that, like I said, I like goals, I like numbers, and I like to see what I've managed to get done. So in the past 12 months, I'm just looking at my spreadsheet over here, I have completed 450,695 stitches. Wow. That's a shocking number to me. It's incredible. Now, to be fair, the end of last year and the first part of this year, I was not working full time. So I did definitely have a little bit more time available, but I've done quite a bit of travel this year, and I tend to do a lot of stitching while I'm traveling as well, because I'll have like 3, 4 or 5 hour trips in the car or by train or plane or whatever. So, but that's a significant number. Will I get it? Will I get to that number in 2025? I don't know. Probably not. Okay, so I think I covered everything for now. I do have a couple of other things I wanted to talk about, but maybe I'll put it in through as we go along. Okay, so I have my projects in 3 different baskets just over here. And what I've done is I've made them alphabetical. So I'm going to go through them alphabetically, not in order of when I started them. Okay, and I have my spreadsheet over here. So I will be able to tell you when I started them, at least most of them, and how much I got done, or where they stand now. Okay, so I'm going to lean over. Actually, what I'm going to do, this is my first basket. I'm going to put it over here. There we go, so I'm not leaning down. Okay, so the first project is a full coverage, and it's not a very large one. It has only 13,857 stitches, and I started this May 16th of 2023. This was one of the ones that went into temporary timeout at the end of 2023, so that's why I haven't got much done. But actually, I should show you what it looks like, shouldn't I? That might be helpful. Okay, I just have not Pattern Keeper. I use Markup RXP. Oh, I'm not sure if this has a proper picture, but we'll see. Okay, this is not a very good picture, but it'll give you an idea. So it is called Arab Blue Eyes, and I just think she's absolutely gorgeous. Ignore the yellow, that's just the color that happens to be currently selected. But she's beautiful. So that's the first one. Who it's by, I have no idea. Yeah, I have no idea who this one is by. I think this one I purchased on Etsy somewhere. And that was before I really was keeping track of anything, so apologies. So this is where it is. So it's only going to be this big. So this is where it is. It is being done on 22 count, 2/1 half cross. And what have I gotten done? There's 2,129 stitches in that. Okay, so that is already at 15%, 15.4%. So that's pretty good. Okay, I'll put them in there. Next. The next one is one I was working on very, well, as recently as yesterday, actually, because it got pulled for my project of the day. So during this month of December, I've been not doing my regular rotation. I have been doing, I've been letting the wheel pick one of my 24 projects to work on for that day and trying to get minimum 500 stitches. So this is The Bitter Half by John Shannon, and I love this. Okay, so let me give you some stats on this. I started that November 16th, 2023. And I have 1,591 stitches in total for 0.55%. It's being done on a 26 count, so that's all. Just two colors, blue and black. You could just see the difference there. All right. This one has a lot of fabric. Okay, I'm gonna have to open it a bit to show you everything. So this next one is a Heaven and Earth design, another full coverage by, like I said, Heaven and Earth design, and it is, don't know why it's not showing up here. It is artwork by Amy Stewart, and it is called Birds, Butterflies, and Blooms, I think. I guess I'll have to, I don't know, somehow it's not on here. I will insert a picture. Okay, and this is what we have so far. So we have one full page completed. One full page completed, and we've started working in here. So one of the things I learned this year is that full coverage, cross-country stitching is my jam. I tried earlier in the year, I tried other things. I tried the Royal Rose method, I tried stitching diagonally, and I just tried parking, and parking gives me anxiety. So I like to finish my threads. You won't find many parked threads. Sometimes you'll find one or two if I'm working in an area of a Q-snap and I get to the edge of the Q-snap, sometimes I will park the thread there so that when I move the Q-snap I could just pick that up. But for the most part, I stitch cross country and finish my threads. Okay, I did find a picture. It was under S for supersize. So this is a supersize. I don't remember if it's max color or not, but that is what it's going to look like. And so I was working in the top left. No, it doesn't look like it's a max color, but it is a supersize. So for Heaven and Earth Design, supersize means 999 stitches wide. And in this case, it is 714 stitches high. So will I complete it in my lifetime? I don't know. But in the meantime, I'm going to have fun. Okay. So that was that one. Tiny one. Oh, I know what this is. Okay. Trying to find what it's called. So this is not in alphabetical order. It got put in here somehow. But anyway, this is called Funky Chickens by Satsuma Street, and it is not a full coverage. I have one. So there's 3 of these patterns in this one pattern, and I have one completed. And essentially, so when you cut these out, you fold them, it becomes a little triangle, a little scissor fob basically. And on the bottom, this one in particular, they have all different names, but this one says "Oh, for cluck's sake." I thought that was cute. I'm doing that on 25 count, even weave. I should get back to that. They're not very big. I will. in a very fancy plastic bag. Try to open it down here so that you don't hear all the crinkling. Okay, so this one is not a WIP. It's going to be a new start. And this is for, as you can see there, the Cross Stitch Studio Celestial Fantasy Stitch Along, which I'm going to be doing on 25 count. So I didn't realize that was in the basket, but that is a new count. That's a new start that will start in January sometime. So I have that all kitted up. Next. Okay. Another fancy dancy bag. And this one, let me show you what it's gonna look like. So I've also been working on this. I've also been working on this recently, and I bought it off Etsy. I am sorry, I don't recall where I got it from. I essentially just put in the search bar Christmas vacation rent, and this is one of the ones that came up. There are different options. Okay. And this is what it's going to look like. So it's basically so Christmas vacation is a big thing in our family. And so when I saw this, I just had to stitch it. And yeah, I want to get it done before Christmas. So this will not be going into 2025. I'm doing this on 40 count linen, and I've gotten most of it completed. Let's see how I can do this. Okay, so I have the rest of the word danced for tap danced, and then in here is just the word with, and then there's two rows. Where's that picture? 2 rows that just say we're gonna have the happiest. That's it. And then I just have to do all of the Christmas lights around the perimeter. So this one, yeah, so like I was saying earlier, that words are not my favorite thing to do. Yeah, they're really not my favorite thing to do. I don't know if you'd consider this a sampler. I guess it's not really, but anyway, it is 40 count, and I definitely need magnification for this, and my hand-eye brain coordination is an issue with this one. So I am 59.4% through this whole thing, so I'm not that far. I've done 6,163 stitches, and I've got 4,212 stitches left. So not a small amount, but I am hoping that I will have this done before Christmas Eve. Okay. Next. Okay, the next one was one of my focus pieces for this year, and it is an image of the Colosseum, and I meant to take all the Q snaps off, and I guess I missed this one, so bear with me for just a sec. This pattern, the pattern is from Cross Stitch Collectibles. I do not recall who the artist is. It is it's a very old painting. Okay, let me actually show you what it's going to look like first. That might be helpful. that is what it's going to look like. Okay. I'm doing this on 22 count even weave that I tea dyed myself. And that's where we are right now. There's the odd. By the way, I don't iron anything until they're finished objects. There we go. So lately I've been stuck in the sky there. I'm almost done that sky. I want to get back to more of the building, which I think yeah, it's close. It's close. But anyway, so it's not massive for a full coverage. It is a total of 153,584 stitches, and I have completed so far 20.5% and 122,108 stitches. So my goal for this year had been to get it to 25% before the end of the year. I didn't make it, and that's fine, and I'm not going to make it. That is absolutely fine. Yeah, they were just arbitrary goals. But I would like to have this one completed. When did I set that for? I don't remember. I think I had said I'd like to have this completed by 2027. And I started it June 14th, 2022. In another fancy plastic bag is a project that I also very recently started. And let me show you what that's going to look like. It is a project by Artisy. And it is called Colorful Ocean. So I saw this stitched up by, or partially stitched up by someone, and it just looked fabulous. This picture does not do it justice. And so I realized actually that I had that pattern already, so I decided to start it. And bear with you for just a sec here. Trying not to make too much noise. Okay. What do I have done? I have a whole 500 stitches, or 0.83% in there. I'm doing this also on, I'm doing this on 18 count. And that's it. That's what 500 stitches looks like. I spilled some water, which was not a great thing, let me tell you. Okay. Next is a kit. I don't know, I can't read it because it's in Russian or Ukrainian or something like that. And this is a cougar. Isn't she beautiful? I love big cats. Okay, and did I even start it? I did, so this was one of the ones that has been in hibernation since 2023. It looks like it's on 14 count Aida, and I have a whole 100 and something stitches in there. It is a paper pattern, and I'm gonna try to put it into Markup RXP. Colors are beautiful, even if they're currently a mess. Anyway, so yeah, so I haven't worked on it at all this year, and obviously not very much the year before. I don't know how many stitches that is. I didn't calculate it. It's not on my spreadsheet. Apologies for that. My ringer's off, so I don't know why it's still dinging. Okay, next is another full coverage. You see a trend here? Okay. This is a piece of fine art by Bottoni, and the piece is called Diana and Cupid. And so that's the goddess Diana with Cupid's bow, her hound sitting at her feet. I love this piece. So this had started the year 2024 as a focus piece, and I worked on it weekly until about June, and then I had to shorten my list, and I chose the two projects that had the highest amount of confetti to shorten it by. Now this project is not small. It is 610,619 stitches. And where are we? I started that February 1st, 2023. And I'm at 3.72%, so 22,695 stitches. That's what I've got done. So I was doing it by page. I know it looks like there's a line there, but I think it's just because I fold it there. Yeah, so we finally got into a tree here, and then the dog is like, is just about to come in. So yeah, I love this piece. This is an absolute must for me to complete. I really want to get it done. This is on 22 count even weave. No, 25 count even weave, sorry. Okay, next is a massive project. So also about, I guess it's about the same. Yeah, it's about the same size. So I'm speaking, of course, I'm just looking at my list up on the wall here. I'm speaking, of course, of Dragons of the Sabbat, which is a retired chart from Pain Free Crafts. The artist is Anne Stokes. And I'll show you what it's going to look like. Okay. It is going to look like this. So it's beautiful. When I saw this, I had to get it. Now, any reasonably sane person would probably look at this and say, okay, that's great. Why don't I just do it on black fabric? Because if you were to stitch all the black, there are 251,562 stitches. But remember those eye brain issues we were talking about, I couldn't see. So I chose to stitch all of the black. So my goal by the end of, by the end of 2023, by the end of 2023, I wanted to get all of the outside corners done, which was about half of it. And then by the end of this year, I wanted to have all of the black, the remaining black, which, like I said, is about another half, maybe a little bit less. And I did it. I did it actually by, I don't know, I want to say September or October. And I will show you. I'm doing this on 23 count even weave. And here she is. So all the black is done. And wow, was that ever an effort. So this fabric is so dirty because I was working on this multiple days a week for a year and a half. So it's very dirty, but I'm not going to wash it because I don't want to. I gridded it myself with a water erasable pen, so I don't want that to come off. It'll get a really nice bath once it is finally completed, and you can probably hear my kitty Smoke. And this is one of my two cats. This is Smoke. He's the troublemaker. He's the troublemaker. Don't let that innocent, sweet face trick you. What are you doing right now? Are you going to take a nap right now? That's not a good idea. That's not a good idea. Okay. All right. Okay, so that was Dragons of the Sabbat. Next, so we're at the D's. Okay, one more D, and this one is a Heaven and Earth design, so another full coverage. The artwork is by Sheena Pike, and this is Daydream Lions. Isn't it beautiful? I just loved all the bright, bold colors, and you know, the cubs, the lion, the lionesses. I love it. So this was one of the WIPs that came into 2024, but I didn't get much done on it. So I started at the top left. So one of the things I love about this pattern is that there's not a ton of background. Like I start at the top left and already you can see one of the lioness's ears. This was also Confetti Hill, by the way, but anyways, it's all worth it. So this project, I haven't really been telling you stats. So I started Dragons of the Sabbat, by the way, on March 1st, 2023. Started Deanna and Cupid on February 1st, 2023, to give you an idea. And Daydream Lions, I started August 14th, 2023. And I haven't put much into it. So there are 5,743 stitches in this out of the total of 373,275. So I'm at 1.54%. The cat fur. And I can't wait to get back to this. This is 25 count pre-gridded fabric. Okay, next. Okay, we're up to the F's. So I have a real mix of full coverage styles and types and sizes. Some, like I said, my smallest one was about 10,000 stitches, and then I have some larger ones like this one. This is larger than both Diana Cupid and Dragons of the Sabbat. And this is also by Amy Stewart. Oh, no, sorry, it's not. It's by Abraham Hunter, also from Heaven and Earth Designs. I love Abraham Hunter, so I have several of his projects. This is Fairy Tale Cottage. Love it. Don't know if I'll ever get it completed, but I hope so. So I start at the top left over here in that tree. And like I said, while this was a project that I brought into 2024 with me, I only did 423 stitches. So this year, I started it June 1st, 2023. So not much for a year and a half of progress. The amount of fabric is like, this is team bed sheet for sure. And this is all I have done. And what have I got? That is, sorry, I'm just trying to read. That is 2,604 stitches, or 0.36%. So I think Heaven and Earth Design pages are about 8,000, 7,500. So it's about half a page. Even though it looks like it should be more. But anyway, I am looking forward to getting to work on this. This will be on my Monopoly game. Well, most of my, actually everything so far will be on the Monopoly game. Except for Christmas Rant, which will be completed this year. Okay. I also have some printed, pre-printed charts. So I don't have great pictures of this. I do have them somewhere, but I haven't been able to find them. And they come with some really crappy photos in the top corner. I bought this on Amazon because the picture was beautiful. It's a fairy holding a little dragon. You can just barely see that. And this is quite far. I think it's about half, maybe a little under halfway done. So most of this top is completed. There's some along the sides and the bottom as well. It's probably easier to see how much I've done from here. I do cross country, so you'll see that I do travel a little bit. Or a lot, depending on who you are, because I know some people don't travel more than a couple stitches. But if I am working with a thread and I have to skip 2 inches or even 3 inches to do one stitch, I'm gonna do it because it's not worth my time to cut the thread, weave it in, and then find a way to anchor that single stitch. I'm just not here for that. Okay, so that's that one. Okay, the next one is a Dimensions Gold Collection. The artwork is by Ruth Sanderson. And this is Fall Fairy. And she's beautiful. I love this. And fall or autumn is one of my favorite seasons. I started this one on, okay, this is probably one of the oldest ones I have. I just started stitching when I got this. And I started this on December 26th of 2021. And this was not one of the projects that I worked on last year at all. I would like to get back to it. Pretty sure it is on Monopoly. I have no idea. So it's a paper chart, so I don't count stitches on paper charts because I want to be stitching, not counting. And where I do give you counts is because I use Markup RXP for my electronic charts, and it counts everything, gives me all the stats. So there we are. So it's on a dove gray Ada, kind of there. Anyway, it's beautiful. I do like it, and I really would like to get back to it at some point. I have all the fairies, so there's a spring, summer, and winter one as well. This is the only one that I have started so far. Okay. Okay, this is a sampler. Yes, it's a sampler, but there are no words. So let me show you what this one is. I still have to spend some time with Markup Arcs. So Markup RXP files all the projects alphabetically, but depending on, you know, obviously it depends on how the files are named, and some are not named. Like for example, the birds, butterflies, and blooms was under SS for supersize first. So you kind of have to, anyways, you can edit the names on here. I haven't done that yet. And I'm having trouble locating this pattern, but I do want to show it to you because it's beautiful. Oh, I know. It's because, okay, if I go view full chart, show me a preview. Hold on one sec. Okay, why is it not showing me? Okay, it's because this is a another dimensions kit, which I asked them to send me a PDF for, and I no longer have the packaging. I'm just trying to see if there's a nice, there's not a nice picture that I can show you. So let me just show you what I have done. This is the Finery of Nature by Dimensions. Again, the kit comes with black Ada, and I can do black. So instead, I'm doing it on white. And I was doing this cross country again, as you can see. I'm not sure that that's the best way to go about this, but I don't know. So I don't know when I'll ever get back to this, but at some point I guess I will. It's not that big. I have to keep an eye on Smoke because he will try to eat my floss. Anyways, but for example, like, yeah, so it's got birds and nests and stuff. So although, and when you ask them, well, at least the patterns I've gotten from Dimensions don't have photos. Like the photos don't import into Markup RXP for some reason. So the next one, believe it or not, is another sampler. Finery of Nature. I actually started September 20th, 2022. So it's not as old as the Fall Fairy, but it's one of the older ones for sure. Okay, the flower sampler, I did not write down when I started this. I do keep notes, so I will, at some point I'll have to check. So my printer was running out of ink, so I apologize, but essentially this is what it's going to look like. It's a little bit wider. This wide border goes all the way around. And I'm doing it on paper, so I don't have a count or percentage or anything like that. And I still have a needle in there. And I did all the borders first because that was super easy. And I started on the flower motifs. Again, I'm doing this on 22 count, which I actually had counted to be 23 count. So everything I tell you is 22 count is actually 23. Okay, so that's that. So not much done on that either. I'm doing this one with sulky thread. So I'm doing it with this variegated sulky thread, which I love. It's beautiful. And I'm doing that, hi monkey. I'm doing that I'm doing it over one for sure. Okay, I'm doing it one over one with that sulky thread. Okay. My fancy Amazon bag. Okay. I have to let my kitty out. Okay, the next project is also one I was just working on a couple of days ago. It got picked for my pick of the day. And it is The Fortune Teller by Luciana Lebel. And this was from Pain Free Crafts. Isn't she beautiful? I love it. And what have I got done with this one? So started that one on August 8th, 2023. And so far I'm just under 10%. So out of the 120,000 stitches, I have done 11,815. So I'm at 9.9%. And this is where we're at. I'm doing this on 25 count pre-gridded fabric. So I've got the top, 3 or 4 pages, and I'm working on the page down here. So this, if you remember what the picture looks like, this is her headband. So we don't have a lot of, again, we don't have a ton of background to do before we get into the main subject, which is awesome. There you go. It's beautiful. Love it. And yes, I do know that I have heard that it's not great to use tape on the edges of your fabric. This is painter's tape. It comes off without a problem. And also I've left like at least 2.5 inches or 3 inches of border. So worst comes to worst, I can cut it off. I don't care. But I haven't had an issue so far with the adhesive. That's the word. Okay. Last F. So this one is another Amy Stewart by Heaven and Earth Designs. And I'll I'll show you what that picture is going to look like. It is also gorgeous. I did see another floss tuber who's actually started I think this year. It is gorgeous. I just love it. So I don't know if you can see the couple. There's a couple right there. And there's more people in gowns going up into the tree. This is another biggie. Okay, not too bad. This has 520,625 stitches, and so far I'm at 0.3%. So I have only done 1,612 stitches out of that. And I started this on September 19th, 2023. So not too long ago, and this was not one of the ones that I worked on this year. I'm doing it on 25 count even weave, which I gridded myself. Top left, start. That's where I start most of my projects. Not all of them, but most of them. 2 more projects in this basket. By the way, I feel I want to explain. If you see the black garbage bag right there, it's a Christmas gift for my daughter. It is a gigantic Pikachu because she loves Pokemon. So it's not garbage. I just had to put it in a black. I have nowhere else to put it. It would have taken up the entire closet. I have nowhere else to put it, so I put it in a black garbage bag so she doesn't see it, because she does come in here quite frequently. Okay, the next project I also don't have a picture for because it doesn't come into markup RXP. Now let me see if I can do this. Beautiful chart. Preview. There we go. Okay, this is Gamer by Medusa Dollmaker. I bought this from Medusa Dollmaker. Ignore the yellow. The yellow is just the color that's selected right now. It's actually a dark gray. That's what she's going to look like. And that little corner at the top that you see is dark. That's all I've done. So this one, when did I start Gamer? I started her on December 6th of 2023. And like I said, it's been in hibernation since then. And this is all I've done. Also being done on 22 count. Okay, and you can see there that there's a line there because the floss, this is basically 2 colors, which by the way I find really annoying. But anyway, I have there's a color matching issue there. So what I've done now is I have 2 cones, so I'm going to just use, because there's a lot of those 2 colors. Yeah, 317, and I don't remember what the other color is, but anyway, so I shouldn't have that issue anymore. Am I going to rip it out? No. It's one small corner. So that project has a total of 193,936 stitches, and I've got 500 done, so I'm at 0.26%. Okay, last one for this basket, and then I'm going to take a short break. Okay, so this is Goddess of Earth. So this is one of my patterns. I do have an Etsy shop, which I think is, well, currently it's on vacation, because I'm just in a space right now where I had to cut down on some of the things I was doing. And so that was one of them. But this is called Goddess of Earth. And I'm blanking at the moment on the artist. But I just find her beautiful. I love those colors. Just gorgeous. So the dark color that you see up here is not black. It's, ooh, what's that dark brown color? 3371. And I decided that I was going to do that first. So this project has, why is it not showing up? Oh, because in my sheet it's called Earth Goddess. Okay, I started this on September 19th, 2023, and again, it was not one that I've touched at all this year, just because I had a lot of things that I wanted to stitch on. This will have 405,414 stitches in total, and what I have done is 4,042 stitches of that 3371, which is exactly 1%. And this is being done on, I believe, 25 count. Yeah, 25 count. Which again, I just pre-gridded myself with the water-soluble pens. Okay, that is it for this basket. I'm going to reset, put everything back in the proper order, and I will be back in a moment with my other ones. Okay, I have my second basket right here, starting with, we're still in the F's. And the first one actually is a finished object, a faux, which I have washed, but I have not ironed yet. And when I'm off the first week of January, I'm gonna see if I can go find, I want to get it framed. So this one is a flower of the month, which I put all 12 together. And it is by, Ellen Morstro. And I put all the names of the flowers there. So it's not ironed. I will iron it. But I just had to show it again because it's beautiful. I love it. Oh, and there's my little monkey again. He's never happy. If he's in, he wants out. If he's out, he wants in. And I can't even go to the washroom without him. Like if I'm in the washroom for more than 30 seconds, he's whining. Okay. The next project is a fairly new start. I started this when 14th of November of this year. And I'll show you a picture. This came out of a magazine, I want to say, but I don't like what I did at the time, because I've had this pattern for at least a couple of years. And what I did at the time was I just took pictures of the pattern because I didn't want to keep the paper. And I didn't think about, I didn't think about recording any of that stuff. So this is what that looks like. And I just realized very recently that this is actually a crop of a bigger picture. So I do really like this. And actually I have the bigger picture. I showed it in my, I did a video with all my kits, just very recently. Okay, so this one, so we're into the G's. Started November 14th, like I said. This is a smallish one, so it's got 34,480 stitches. And I have a whole 503 stitches in there. Most of them are very light, so you can't see much. Can't see much there. And I'm doing it on 16 count. 16 count Ada. Yeah. So that is that. Here's my blank. Throwing them all into another basket, so to make it easier. And what's going on there? Okay. All right, next. Next is, sorry about that. Next is the Grand Library. And I have mixed feelings about this one. I believe this is filed under the, for some reason. Here it is. This is artwork by Amy Stewart. It's Heaven and Earth Designs. It is the regular version, not Max Colors or anything. And this is what it will look like when it is finished. So I'm in that top left corner. Okay, I was going through a phase where I heard someone talking about 22 count heart anger and how it was amazing to stitch on and blah blah blah. So I bought quite a bit of it for some reason, because you know, you gotta go big or go home, right? So don't just try one little piece. Anyway, so I started this on 22 count, and I started this in a few different ways. And if you watch my previous if you watch my let me start again. If you have been watching my Flossmas videos, then you'll have heard me talk about this already. But anyway, so that's that's pretty much where it ends. I started this originally 1/1 full cross. Then I decided to go to 2/1. So that wasn't enough coverage. Went to 2/1 half cross. And then I decided that still wasn't enough coverage. And so now I'm doing 2/2 full cross. So you'll see, if you can look closely, you'll see a mixture of those things. If I pull it back here, that looks pretty good. But when you look at it up close, it's not fantastic. And I know a lot of people replied to my video, and thank you very much for this. And they reminded me that you're supposed to be looking at these from 3 feet away. So from 3 feet away, it doesn't look bad, but even from 3 feet away, the dragon looks a little fuzzy, and so does this person. It took me, I don't know, it took me a long time to figure out that that was a person. Actually, the only reason I figured out that that was a person facing away is because I looked at the picture and I realized, oh, okay, that person's a redhead, and they're wearing a gown with a shawl. Anyway, so what I have decided is to do 2 things. One, I recently, just like in the last week basically, I found out that my daughter has started stitching, and I haven't seen her, so I haven't seen what she's been stitching yet, but I know she likes this project because she's seen me work on it, and I know she really likes it. So what I've decided to do is I'm gonna buy the supersized max color, because again, go big or go home. I want to see the detail. I want to be able to read the titles on those books, not just like even from far away, you know, it doesn't even look like it would be writing. It just looks like splotches on the book. So I've been looking at the mock-ups for the supersized max color, and I think it would do this project a lot more justice. So I'm going to do that. But this one, I'm going to do one of two things. I'm going to continue it and do it for my daughter, or if she wants to work on it to practice her full coverage, then she can have this one and she can work on this one, because I know she really likes this image. So I'm going to kind of be doing both, which is, you know, it's fine. I don't typically do projects more than once, but whatever. Okay, so where did I get on that one? Grand Library. So I started this on May 27th, 2022. And by the way, part of the reason is, like I said, I know that you're supposed to look at it from this far back, but I've been having reservations about this since before I even finished the first page. And I've gone back and forth a lot. And I finally just, you know, was thinking about this the other day, and I'm like, if you keep having these issues, like if you keep having these doubts, then like there's a reason for it. So I'm obviously not as happy with it as it could be. So I'm gonna do the supersized max color for me, and hopefully there will be a difference. If not, that one might get abandoned and I'll come back to this one. I don't know. Anyways, I could change my mind between now and half an hour from now. You never know. So for this one, like I said, it started May 27th, 2022. So it's also one of the older ones. There are a total 402,750 stitches, and this is 14,444. It's not, which is 3.6%. It's not a small amount of stitching, but it's also, you know, it's easier to stop now than to wait till I get to, you know, halfway, which is 200,000 stitches. So it's fine. It's fine. Everybody's good. Okay. So we're on to the H's. This next project is a project I really love. This is an anniversary piece. Originally, I had hoped to have this completed for my 25th wedding anniversary next year. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. There's just too much to do. And I could get it done. I actually could get it done if I was working on this monogamously, but I am not a monogamous stitcher, so I would tear my eyes out. This is Home Sweet Home from the Cross Stitch Studio. The artwork is by Diana Dengel. Diane or Diana? I don't recall. Dengel? And this has a total of 335,626 stitches. I have so far completed 44.1%, or 147,832. My goal for this year had been, at the beginning of the year, had been to get this to 50%. It's not going to reach that, which is fine. I'm going to aim for 45, and that's only 1% left, which is totally fine, and I'm pretty happy with. I started the year, at the end of last year, it was 24.5%. So I've gotten it 20%. Yeah, I've gotten it 20%, this year, which is pretty great. So this one, by the way, I started, did I say? I started November 21st, 2022. This was one of the first full coverage projects I started. I think it was number 3. Yeah, number 3. Colosseum was number 1. And this is where we're at. It's that first row of pages all the way across. The sign says Home Sweet Home. There's this hat. And this is the bed frame. This is their heads, the top of their heads. Oh, sorry about that. Top of their heads. This is the pillow. This is the bedspread. And the dog is right here. There's a cat in there somewhere too. I don't know if you noticed that. We've got the dresser, the corner of the room, the dresser, the paintings. There's a little bit here that I still need to fill in, just in these 2 little things right there. And there's the bed. So what's up with this stuff? Because I told you I don't like to park. I had my Q-snap in here, and I worked as far as I could within the Q-snap, and so those were all, and there were still stitches that were down below, so I parked those. But I will definitely come back and do that. I'm trying to decide, now that I've taken it out of the Q-snap, I'm trying to decide whether I should continue all the way down and then over, or whether I do want to get to the couple first. But I don't know, we'll see. I think the first thing I'm going to do is finish this little thing here, just so that that part is all complete. So yeah. This is an awful lot of confetti, let me tell you. I know at least one of my viewers is stitching this as well, and we were commiserating about the amount of confetti that's in this. The only saving grace, I will say, is that for the walls, yes, it is a lot of confetti, but it's kind of the easiest confetti you can have, because like these are all different shades of brown, and it doesn't matter if you put one shade in the wrong spot. Like, just carry on, because your eye is not going to, nobody's ever gonna know that you've put that in the wrong spot. So it's nice that way. This was a crap load of confetti, and so was the hat. Oh my god, there's like at least 50 colors in this little section right there, the top of the hat. Anyway, so that is my anniversary piece. In a rooster bag by Gamma's Treasures, which I bought at Stitch North. All right, so that's that one. Next, I'm hoping this stuff doesn't fall over. Okay, next is another one. So obviously that has been a focus piece for this year, although I haven't worked on it in the past couple of weeks, which is fine. I needed a break. Okay, so the next project is also from the Cross Stitch Studio, and it is, who's the artwork by? Is it Abraham Hunter? It might be I think it's Abraham Hunter. This is Honeymoon Sunset, and it is also very, very large. Show you what that's going to look like. This is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. That is what it's going to look like. And again, as per usual, I started at the top left in that double tree. No, it's gorgeous, but the amount of confetti, I can't even explain the amount of confetti that was in that. So I started this October 12th, 2023. So it's 14 months old. And like I said, it was, for the first half of the year, it was a focus project. And then I dropped it because of all the confetti and everything else that I had going on. But I got 17,195 stitches, or 3.1% so far. And that's where we are. It looks amazing. It looks really great. But it's just, wow. The confetti is no joke. So I would like to get this moving a little more. Originally, my plan for this one was to get it to 5% by the end of the year. But like I said, I dropped it in June and haven't worked on it since June, so we didn't make it. It's just fine. Okay, next. Okay, the next one is actually my oldest piece. And this one is, I don't even know how old because I didn't keep track of this stuff, but years and years. When I was first trying to teach myself how to cross stitch and saw the picture, thought it was beautiful, decided to try it. I'm not sure that a dimensions kit was the best choice, but this is called Indian Peacock. And it's beautiful, but it's a lot, and I didn't know what I was doing. So I actually gridded the fabric with fishing 0.4 millimeter fishing line, and oh, there's a needle in there. And I started first, so I started in the center where they said to start, but I, kept making all these counting mistakes. Then I realized that the filament was, there was one row extra or one row less, so that caused issues. Put it away for 2 years, then I came back to it and I started up in the top, and I think there's a mistake in there too, I can't remember, but I haven't worked on this in the past year and a half. So at some point I definitely would like to get back to it. Hopefully I'll have enough floss, but if not, then I have the dimensions numbers. And what I did, by the way, with their floss is I took their floss off of their cards and I put them all on these different business cards that I no longer needed. So I just put the number a whole bunched, and that's my flosses for this project. So yeah, so if I run out, I know what the DMC numbers are. And I can also beg Yoshi for any of his leftover floss if and when he finishes, and if and when he has leftovers, because he's also doing this project. Okay, the next one is Italian Lady. And where are we? Oh, okay. So actually, the Indian Peacock, it actually says what it is. So it's not very big. It's 26,250 stitches. So compared to, Honeymoon Sunset or one of the other ones, it's not big. I should be able to finish that in a short amount of time. But anyway, so I think that's my oldest one. And that's from December 27th, 2021. So I guess it's 3 years old. That's my oldest project. Okay, the next one, like I said, is called Italian Lady. This is what she's gonna look like. And this is from Shannon Christine Designs. This was the first fancy lady that I ever tried to do. I did not write down when I started it because I wasn't keeping track of that stuff yet. So I had issues with this. So the pattern is PDF, but they password protected it, so I can't put it into markup. And so with I mentioned earlier, my eye and brain situation didn't work. So this is all I did. And I did this last year. So I got her face. I even did some of the back stitching, and I did the beads because I didn't know you were supposed to wait to bead until you were done. But I was having so much trouble in her hair. There's a lot of different colors in her hair, and this was also the first time working on 32 count over 2. It just wasn't a good situation. So I put this away and haven't touched it since. And I will get back to it at some point. I think I might actually take the time to chart it because I do have charting software, thanks to my business. But I think I will take the time to rechart it in there because I just can't do it. It's just Actually, what I might do first is try importing the photos into Markup Artspeed because that works, and then I just have to manually add the symbols. Anyways, but I'm not going to do that until I get my other fancy lady done, because after that I decided to give that put that away because I threw it across the room. I was so mad at it. And obviously not mad at it, mad at myself, and my inability to do that. So I decided to start a Mirabilia. So the reason I started that before I started the Mirabilia is I thought, for some reason, I was really intimidated by Mirabilias, and I thought, let me try this because it looks simpler before I start a Mirabilia. And I found the opposite to be true. So we haven't got to the Mirabilia yet. We will, but I found that one to be, I don't know. I don't know why. Just so much easier for some reason. Or better, maybe I was just a better stitcher by that point. I don't know. Okay. Let me do this one first, even though it's a little bit out of order, just because it's going to fall, because it doesn't quite fit into the basket. This is another Heaven and Earth design, and she is called Maxine. And she's a mermaid. My one and only, I think. She's beautiful. And this, how big is she? Maxine. So I started this April 15th, 2023, so a year and a half ago. It has a total of 126,800. And I've done just short of 5,900, so I'm at 4.7%. This one I started on the top right, and that's what I've got done so far. I have not worked on this at all this year. Is that right? Oh, I'm sorry. I did. I put in 805 stitches this year. And this is easy stitching. There's a lot of block stitching. As you can see, there's a lot of block stitching in that, so it's pretty easy. But yeah, what am I doing this on? I'm doing this on 25 count even weave. Okay, now I can set that down. I don't have to worry about things falling over anymore. All right, the next project I have goes back to MA. This is Magic Study, the rainbow version by Rose The artwork is by Rose Kahn. The chart is from Heaven and Earth Designs. I love this project. This is it here. What it will look like when it's finished. And Magic Study has a total of 442,929 stitches. I have put in 9,120 stitches and I'm at 2.1%. This is one I've worked on just this past week, actually. It was one of the Advent, one of the Flossmas picks. Okay, yeah, so this year I've put in a total of 2,137 stitches. That's where we are. So where I started was, I had started in here. So when I started this project, I had decided to start it using the Royal Rose. And I got all the way across here. I think this is 2 pages. I don't know. It's a few pages, maybe 3 pages or something. And this was driving me crazy. It gives me anxiety. I hated the fact that, you know, there would be like, you would do one column, 10 stitch wide column, and you'd park your thread below, but then in the very next column, there's another one of that same color. So whereas in cross country, I would just get it done, right? As opposed to have, so I'd have multiple sort of side of the same color side by side. Drove me nuts. So I filled in all here, and then this week, this past week, I filled in just in here. That's that. This is another one of the nasty 25 count Ada. It's hard as a rock, and I am thinking that what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish weaving all of these in, or working all of these in, and then I'm going to wash the piece, because it's, well, if you heard me talking about the better half, it's the same Ada, and it hurts my hands. Not trying to be the baby, but okay, next. Okay, so the next one is the Mountain Cabin. The artwork is by Dominic Davidson. The chart is from Heaven and Earth Designs. And this was a new year, new start on January, excuse me, January 1st, 2023. And I will show you what this looks like. It is beautiful. Okay, so obviously it's not in the right spot. Here we go. Oh, it's under T for the. Okay. All right. This is it here. I love Dominic Davidson's work. Another one of my focus pieces will be coming up later on, but I've not worked on this year at all. I had to make some tough choices at the end of last year. So this one has a total of 375,550 stitches, and what I've got done so far, I have no idea, because it's not in my... Interesting. Does this say? Yes, it does. Okay. So I have done 3,181 stitches, or 0.85%. And that's all I've done so far. That's pretty. Also on that 22 count. This one's not bad, actually. Or not as bad, but it's still pretty bad. Anyway. So that's that. Okay, the next one is another printed pattern. And I know I've said this multiple times before. Let me just reiterate for the new people. A lot of these pre-printed charts, yes, I know now that the artwork, some if not most of the artwork, is stolen from artists. I did not know that when these were purchased, and many of them were given to me as gifts from family members, and they also had no idea. They don't know anything about cross stitch. This one is a lion, and I don't have much done on this. Pretty much at the top and a little bit at the bottom. So not much. I haven't worked on this at all this year. What I've decided is that for 2025, and I should remember to put this in my plans, for 2025, I'm going to use the printed charts as my sort of easy stitching. You know, you don't have to think about it. You don't have to look at a pattern. You just have your floss and fabric and go. Okay, this one is what? Okay, I know what this is. Do I have a photo? I don't think I have a photo. Okay, I'll have to find a photo and insert it here. This is Mother Nature Summer, and this was in another stitching magazine, which I don't... Oh, let me back up. This is in the wrong spot. So sorry, it's out of order. Well, I guess it's under M for Mirabilia, but it's actually called Royal Games 2. And this is what she looks like. So I have the Queen of Clubs is complete. There's some beads and stuff that go in here, and the edge of the card, obviously I still have to do around the whole thing. And I started the Queen of Hearts or Diamonds, I don't remember. There's her bodice and the start of her cape. This is being done on 32 count Witchelt linen, 2/2. And like I said, although I did make mistakes on this, I definitely found it a whole lot less stressful than the Italian lady. I'm using paper and just marking, just highlighting. Okay. This is a UFO, so I'm not even going to show it. Okay. This is what I thought. This is Mother Nature Summer. Does it say the magazine? Nope. I did not write down the magazine. I just took pictures. Oh, there we go. This one is June 2023 from Just Cross Stitch magazine. It's Mother Nature Summer. And she's beautiful. And I don't have a ton. I don't know which way is up right now. Doesn't really matter because you can't really see much, but that's all I've got done so far. I would like to get back to that. I don't think I've worked on that this year at all. What's this one? So this is, I don't have a picture of the whole thing actually. Do I? Maybe. Yes, I do. Okay. This is called The Chronicles of Narnia by the Stitching Book Club. So this was a mystery stitch along, which I started, but then I put it away and haven't done anything since. I think this was like, well, 2023 for sure. Anyways, this is what it's gonna look like. So it was my first kind of non-full coverage samplerish kind of thing, and yeah, not crazy about it. I do like it though. The other thing was, because it was a mystery, and then I started hearing a lot of people did not like it, and so then I'm like, oh, do I really want to spend all my time stitching on something that I may not like? So I decided to wait until it was finished. And yes, I do like it. So we'll carry on with it. Okay. The next one I love, even though it is not full coverage. Believe it or not, I love the bright, beautiful, bold colors. I love the image. Okay, so is this under the... I will see if I can insert a picture here. Of what this is going to look like. This is called the Nature Sampler, and I'm sorry, but I don't recall the artist. This is still on the Q-Snap, but this is everything I have done. It's beautiful. Love it. This is being done on 28 count linen. It's not a white, it's kind of a greenish. I don't remember what it's called, water lily or something. Yeah, it's beautiful. Anyway, the name of the shop. So I got it on Etsy, and it started with a T. If I remember, I'll put it down below, but I wouldn't hold my breath. I don't understand why it's not showing on here. And one of the things I really wish I really wish that Markup RXP let you do is to do a search by a word. That would be great. Yeah, I'm not sure why it's not in Markup RXP. But I don't have a paper pattern with it, so it's gotta be electronically somewhere. All right, next is another pre-printed kit. This one has satin floss, which some people say is not real satin. Okay, so this is one I started in like 2022 or 2023. I've not got a lot done. It's pretty much all you see. And the picture really sucks. So it's called Peaceful Cottage, or maybe that's what I call it. I think this is one that I kept calling it the wrong thing, but I wrote down Peaceful Cottage, so that's what I call it. I do like it. It's a beautiful image. But again, haven't worked on it this year. Okay, what is this? Okay, so this is another one of my designs, so Smoke and Ash Designs. And this is a fairly new start. I think I started about a month ago. I only put in the 1 day on it and haven't been able to pick it up again since, but I will. And this is, I called it Polar Bear Mama and Cub. I just love it. I love that image. And that's all I got done. So that is 362 stitches, which is 0.15%. So there's a total of 239,200 stitches in this. It's kind of a medium size. This is being done on 28 count, 28 count Aida from China. Okay. Next one is another pre-printed chart. This is a travel one, and this one, oh, still have the needle in there too. It's called Roma. I'll show you at the back what I've got done, because that's a lot easier to see. Again, I haven't worked on any of these pre-printed charts this year at all. Okay, this one is another Heaven and Earth Designs. I think this was chart number 4 that I bought from Heaven and Earth. It is a mini, and it is called A Pompeian Lady. What is going on? Here it is. Sheesh. Oh, it's under M for mini. I have to go through all of these. Anyway, this is what she's going to look like. Beautiful. And don't have that much done on her either. So she's got a total of 105,975 stitches. And I have 7,014 stitches completed on her, which is 6.62%. And this is another one that I had been doing using the Royal Rose. I had started doing using the Royal Rose, and then as you can see, I've been weaving them in. Actually, this is one that I haven't worked on at all this year either, so I did that weaving in at the end of last year. And this is a 25 count even weave. That's that one. Last one in this, oh, it's not Italian Lady. The last one in this box was to start this year. I have no idea when. Oh, I do have an idea when. No, it was started on November 24th, 2023. I put in the 1 day, and then that's it. This is being done on 16 count linen fabric in the color water green. Let me show you a picture. It's called Roy Kent because we're watching Ted Lasso at the time. Okay, sorry, my daughter called because someone hit her car. Luckily she's okay, everybody's okay, but anyway. So this is Roy Kent. He's here, he's there, he's every effing where. And not got much done there. That's all I have. That's it, just a circle. Yeah, so it's being done on 16 count. This was a sample, and unfortunately, I don't know where it's from because they didn't write it down. Oh my goodness gracious. I apologize. I don't know why that's happening because my volume is completely off. All right, so that's it for this basket. I'm going to stop here and regroup and If I don't come back, then there will be a part 2. I just have to take a quick break. Okay, bye. Okay, so we're back with the third and final basket. And we're going to do this a little bit out of order, just because I have this project out. This is the project that I was working on today for Flossmas. So since I have it out, I'm just going to show it. Actually, let me show you what it's going to look like first. That might be helpful. Okay, so this is Scaredy Cats from Heaven and Earth Designs. I think it's a mini. I don't remember now. And who is that from? Jeff Haney. The artwork is from Jeff Haney. And this is where I've got to so far. So not too bad. The whole thing is going to be this big. It's not that big. Or I'm showing you the back. So not too bad. Not too big. I think I'm almost halfway across. Anyway, so that is Scaredy Cats. And I started this on October 6th, 2022. And I'm at 20%. So there's a total of 96,250 stitches, and I'm at 19,000 stitches. All right, so I'm going to put this here because I'm going to need that. Another one is going to be out of order. Apologies, because I was also working on this yesterday. And this is Super Mario. So he's got quite a bit done. You can see from there. Now, there's still some in the feet to be completed. There's a little bit, yeah, there's still a little bit there, and there's still some of this stuff here. On his hand there. Now all of this yellow, which is the background, this is all white, and I'm not doing it. I'm not doing white on white. I don't see the point for it. So I'm just going to do him and call it a day. So that is Super Mario. I don't have a percentage point because I don't, anything that's not in Markup RXP, I don't keep track of I don't count the stitches. I have better things to do with my time. Okay, I'm going to do one more out of order, and just because it is very large and I don't want everything to go flying. So this is another Heaven and Earth design. This is called Veil of Death. The artwork is by Chris Ortega. And I love this piece so much. Okay, and this is what she will look like when she's done. And I have been making my way across the top row of pages. That's where she is. I have all these little, ignore those. But yeah, so I worked my way across. I stitched cross country, so lately I've been trying to just fill in the little ninja stitches that are in here. But I'm going to work my way all the way across the top and then roll down. So that is the Veil of Death. It is at, okay, so first of all, it's 1.5 years old. I started it on April 5th, 2023. It has a total of 390,825, and I'm at 7.9%. So there's 30,894 stitches in here, which is not bad. Okay, put that there. All right, next. we should be back in alphabetical order now. Okay, so as I said earlier, I don't like samplers. Again, I always reserve the right to change my mind. One of the things I've discovered about myself is that the biggest thing I didn't like about samplers is alphabets. And I was always intimidated by long dog samplers. But I decided to give it a try. And of course, as per usual, like, go big or go home, right? Okay, I keep getting interrupted by this accident thing. Anyway, so Saga. This is Saga by Long Dog Samplers. I've always been intimidated by them because of the counting and, like I said, my brain eye issues. However, this loaded into Markup RXB pretty well, and it's so full that it actually was pretty good to stitch. One second. Sorry. Okay, so I'm stitching it with, I have a cone of 37.99. Oh my goodness gracious, honestly. Everything's falling. And I'm stitching this with Silks for You in the colorway Mood. And it is gorgeous. Okay. And $37.99, which of course is a dark gray. So what I am doing is doing the structure in the dark gray and everything inside in the Mood, the silk. There we go. Beautiful. So I don't have much done. I have 2,090 stitches in out of 100 and just short of 104,000. So I'm at 2%, 2.01%. I'm just going to pick up my needle minder, which, little hummingbird. Okay, I'm going to put that back in here. Take the Q snap out. Okay. Hopefully I'll cut that out. All right, the next one is called Spirit of the Phoenix. Oh, can't forget to put this back. Okay, the next one's called Spirit of the Phoenix, and it charting, I believe it's from Charting Creations. The artist is Dakota Detweiler. Okay, and this is what it's going to look like. So it's trees, tree canopy. There's not many colors in that, I don't think. Yeah, well, there's quite a few. I don't know how many that is, but quite a few. I started with the black. So I think I would like to do this one extreme cross country and do all of the black first, and then come back and do all the other colors. So far, what I have done so far, 768 stitches out of 144,400. So I'm at 0.53%. It's being done on more of that 22 count that can stand up on its own. All right, oops, put that there. Okay, so this is a Blackwork piece by the Steady Thread. I don't have a picture of the whole thing, but this is what the frame looks like anyway. So it's a very leafy border. I haven't worked on this project at all this year. I have no idea how far I am because I'm stitching this on paper. I'm stitching it with sulky threads in these 3 colors here. Beautiful. I'm stitching this on 32 count Joblin in Antique White by Stitch It Central. And all I have done so far, I won't unroll the whole thing because that is all I've got done. And I did make a mistake. Again, eye brain issues. So will I get back to this? I would like to, because I like nature-y stuff. There's no words in it. But it won't be anytime soon. Because not yet. Okay, next. Okay, so this is a new start. This is a new start, just like in the past week, I want to say. Week and a half. It is, I want to say Pain Free Crafts, but it's not. I think, is it Charting Creations? 1 second. Come on. I really wish I could search. Here it is. It is called Daydream Sea Turtles. And so same artist as my Daydream Lions, which I showed you earlier. And I'm pretty sure, yeah, it's Charting Creations. So let me show you what that's going to look like. Again, big, bold, beautiful colors. Love them. And I'm just up in the top left at that orange yellow flower that you see there. So like I said, I only started this about a week ago. I've only got 865 stitches out of 165,900. So I'm at 0.5%, 0.52%. And that was fun. So I'm doing this one on also that 28 count from China, which actually is pretty nice to work on. Okay. Next. Okay, so I think this one I started this year. Yes, I started it September 10th. And actually, I have the picture right here. This is by Joan Elliott. It's called The Sorceress. Sorry for the glare. And the part I'm going to show you, I started on the top left. So it's this part here, starting her sleeve and the part of the furniture. All right. And I'm doing this on 14 count opalescent fabric from the sewingshop.ca. I don't remember what the colorway is called. Oh wait, it's on here. Crème de cassis, 14 count. And that's what I've got done so far. So I started on her. So there's the owl, and then her sleeve. So it's looking pretty good. So again, I'm doing that on paper, so I have no idea of stats, how many stitches. Sorry for the clinking. If you're wearing earphones, I really apologize. Forgot about that, sorry. Okay, next is one of my favorite projects, if not my absolute favorite. This was my, okay, not counting the dimensions, but I think this was my first purchase from Heaven and Earth Design, and it's my first full coverage. And I'm gonna have to take it out of the, Q-snap because I want to show you. It's just so gorgeous. Let me show you what the whole thing is gonna look like. So like I said, it's called, or I think I said, it's called Sunset in Venice. The artwork is by Dominic Davidson, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. This is what it's going to look like. There's pictures. That's what it's going to look like. Just beautiful. I went back to Venice in November, so not that long ago. I love it as much as always. Okay. And so I've gotten all the way across the whole piece. I'm doing this on 25 count even weave, and I'm working on this building, which there's a little left. There's a little left of all these windows, a little bit. And then there's a gondola. Oops, there's a gondola right down here. So I think there might be just one page like this, and then maybe one more page. Not sure. But anyway, so again, I'm not sure whether I want to just continue going all the way down and then across, just because I want to get to the gondola and I want to get to some of the water. So that is Sunset in Venice. I haven't been telling you stats, so I am doing that on 25 count. I'm doing it 1/1 full cross. A lot of my projects I'm doing 2/1 half cross, and that is because I want to have a chance of completing some of these before, some of these before I die. And if I do everything full cross, I don't, anyways, half cross is a little faster. Okay, next. What's this? Okay, so this was a new start very recently. This is my favorite painting. I know it's a lot of people's favorite painting. I think I actually have it here. It's called Starry Night of Van Gogh. So this was a kit from Joy Sunday. Put that back over there. It's not a printed kit, but it is a kit. And I don't have that much done. Again, it's on paper, so I don't have the stats or anything, but love it. And it's being done on 14 count Ada. Next. Okay. Oh, I know what this is. Okay. I think I started this maybe in 2023. Oh, I did. April 5th of 2023. And I did not work on it at all this year. So I have some pre-gridded fabric. And what I'm doing is I don't have a picture. I'll see if I can find one, and if I do, I'll put it here. But I'm doing all of the Hogwarts house crests. I started with Slytherin because at the time I was playing a game with where I was in the Slytherin group. But yeah, so that's it there. This is a free pattern. If you put in, if you Google Harry Potter crests, this comes up. It's on somebody's blog, and I'm sorry, I don't remember who it is. Again, I wasn't keeping track of that kind of stuff at the time. So, and it's actually, like, it's not fantastic. It's actually photographs. Oh, here, hang on. It does say. So it's actually photographs of charts. So she doesn't even have the PDFs on there, but you can blow it up and read it enough. But there's the artist, Colleen Carrington, or I guess the charter, not the artist, right? Colleen Carrington. Yeah. So you can look that up. It's on her blog. At some point, I do want to get back to that. Like I said, I haven't worked on it this year at all. Okay, this thing, I don't know if I'll ever get back to. This is called the Primitive Tarot Needlebook. No idea when I started it, so must be 2023, early 2023. And it's this. So it's free chart from Wild Violet Cross Stitch. And it's a needlebook. So it's cute. At some point, I would like to, so what I have done, I think I have this one done, the stitcher. I'll show you the picture. I'm doing this on 40 count, and because I didn't want it to be too big. So yeah, so there's the stitcher. He's done. It's a blue. There we go. Light blue. So that's all I've done so far. I still have 2 more to do, and then all the finishing. Again, I've not worked on this at all this year. I would like to at some point. I guess I'm doing the Christmas vacation on 40 count now without too much trouble, so that's okay. But anyways, I'm using different threads. I'm using embroidery thread, polyester embroidery thread in these 4 colors for the whole thing. So brown, blue, orange, and green. They're 40 count, so I am doubling. I'm doing 2 strands. Okay, so the next one, I'll show you the picture. I'm not going to even pull this out, and I'll explain why in a second. But this is from Tilton Crafts, and it's called Tender Temptation. Let's make that bigger. And that is what it's going to look like. And what I did not realize, here, let me explain. What I did not realize, because you can't really see it. You can't really see that around the edge of that brown, what looks like a border, there's actually another border that's in white. And I I don't know. When I started this, which was the 5th of September 2023, and I haven't worked on it at all this year. I started on 28 count Lugana from or Monaco from Charles Craft DMC, and I didn't know that I could have omitted the white border, so I started stitching it, and like this is the back, but you can still see that's all I've done. It's just that much, so I'm not even going to pull it out of here because there's no point. You won't be able to see it anyway. Okay, the next one is another full coverage. This one is quite small as well, kind of like Arab Eyes. The color palette is what drew me in. All those greens. Let me show you what it's going to look like. So this is called Tiger in Bamboo. And literally, it's a tiger in bamboo. Peeking out. So it is small. It is, so I started this first of all on May 1st, 2023. Like I said, I haven't worked on it at all. Oh, it's bigger than I thought. I was thinking it's as small as the Arab Eyes, but no. It's a little surprising. But anyway, it's got 160,000 stitches in it. And I am at 1.12% with 1,796 stitches. And this is also in that Royal Rose phase. This is even weave from somewhere, no idea. Wait a minute. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, because I was going to say that's not, there's no way that was, what did I say? 1,700 stitches. This is it. So obviously I had started something else down there and changed my mind, but also still in the Royal Rose phase. But obviously I had then changed my mind and started to work them in. So that's what I've got done so far. Okay. That was a little confusing there. Okay. So we're in the tea, so not that many left. Next is, yeah, we just have a couple left. Okay, this is another pre-printed chart. Which one is this? Okay. So I've done quite a bit on this one too. Again, haven't worked on any of these this year, but you can see from the back how much I've done because it's hard to tell from the front. And this one is called, I don't know, sea turtles, I think. Can't see the picture very well. And I've been working it cross country by color as well, so can't see too much there. But I do really like the colors in this one too, so I'd like to get back to that one. Okay. 3 more. This one. Okay. This is not a full coverage. It is called the video. Oops. There's the colors. It is called the video game sampler. Let me see if I have a picture. I should have a picture here. Okay, and this, I started this September 27th, 2023. Again, have not worked on it this year, I don't believe. Nope, I've not. I've done 1,420 stitches out of the 12,437. And this is what it looks like. should have warned you, it has sweary words. Does it say? I'm sorry, I don't remember. Screaming Heart Designs. So you can Google it, go to her website. If you, so she created this chart to raise funds for the NAACP in January 2021. You can make a donation and then send her the receipt and she'll send you the pattern. So I started in the middle because I wasn't sure about the fabric. It's not that big, as you can see. And like I said, haven't worked on it this year at all. But again, it's not that big. It's the letters. It's the letters I'm not crazy about doing. And I'm not also, I've talked about this before if you've watched my videos, but I don't like doing little things. I like finishing my whole thread, like doing quite a few stitches. All right. 3 more. This one, I don't know if it had a specific name. I just call it Woman Wolves Moon. It's using that satin floss. And yeah, I've done a fair bit on that too. That's the back. Here's the front. So the picture, you can just see it's a woman with 2 wolves, like holding a wolf pup, and then there's a wolf adult in front of her, in front of a big moon. So I like that. I like that image. Put there. Okay, this one is another dimensions kit, and do I have a picture? I don't have a picture. Let's see if I can put a picture in here. Because what I do with these is I cut out the picture and put it in a journal. I've not done very much on this. That's all I've got so far, so just started outlining him. I had started this at some point last year for a game I was doing, a game I was playing on Facebook. I needed something that started with a Y, and that was the only thing that I had, so I started it, but I haven't been called to work on it since. Okay, last one. The last one I actually did work on this past week as well, because it was another project that was called for Advent. All right, and this pattern is from the sewingshop.ca. Let me do it this way. And it is called Zeus's Wrath. It's beautiful. I love it. So we're trying to figure out, I couldn't quite figure out what it is that he's holding. And a few people responded to me, so thank you so much for giving me your opinion. So at first, one person, and I thought the same thing at first because I didn't look at it that closely, was that this would be a lightning bolt that he's gonna throw, but it doesn't quite look like a lightning bolt. But what it does look like, and someone else pointed this out, is that this figure's robe goes here, goes up into the clouds, and then back. So I think Zeus is holding this person's robe. And maybe has turned it into maybe has turned it into light. You know, there may be, both may be right, because like you see all these, like, they kind of looks a little bit like lightning. So maybe he's turned the fabric into lightning. I don't know. But anyway, so that's what that is. And I started that February 2nd of this year. There are a total of 360,500 stitches, and I have completed 2,335 stitches. Okay, I'm still dealing with this issue. Okay, so this is what I've got so far. Like I said, this is a total of 2,335 stitches. This week I put in 917 stitches. That's almost half of it. I really love this. So I'm doing this on an even weave that came from China. It's pretty nice actually to work with. It's very, because I showed you earlier, it's a very open weave, which I quite like because the holes are easy to see. I don't even need magnification with this. So yeah, I had ordered, I always check it, I always measure it in multiple places on the fabric, because I've gotten different things. So this was actually ordered as 28 count. It came as 27 count. It doesn't seem like it's that much, but over a big piece, it does add up. And if you've only given 2 inches of, you know, edge space on each side, you're going to have less than that, right? So it's kind of getting iffy. So I always just check. I always just check and make sure. And that is it. That's all my WIPs so far. That is how many? Let's just have a look, shall we? That is 63 WIPs. That's more than I thought. I think I started the year with 42. And I don't know if you haven't seen my channel before. I have been basically for the past 2 months maybe, I've been starting a new project every 2 weeks. I have about 30 full coverage WIPs or projects that I want to start. And I have, one of the things I have discovered about myself is that it doesn't bother me to have a lot of cross stitch WIPs. It did bother me to have a lot of knitting WIPs because, well, they take up a lot more space, first of all. But yeah, I don't know why. But cross stitch, I think just because I know that I can, you know, I know that it takes a while to get them done. You know, it can take years. So it doesn't, I don't know, it just doesn't bother me to have a lot. But it does bother me to have a lot of patterns that I haven't started and that I really like. So I've decided, you know, I'm just gonna go with it. So I'm gonna start the projects. You can't finish them, you can't work on them if you don't start them. So I'm gonna start them. I know that I will never get all of these projects completed in my lifetime, and I am okay with that. The purpose of this is to have fun. It's my stress relief. It's my enjoyment, and so it's done its job. Even if I don't finish the actual whole piece, it's done its job. So I'm gonna do it. Anyway, so that is it for now. I started to say with regards to the new starts that I'm planning, I have a video. If you have not seen it, you can go back 2 or 3 videos before Flossmas started. So end of November-ish. I have a video called New Startapalooza, I believe, and I show you all the new starts that I want to do. And yeah, so that is it. It's been 2.5 hours. I'm gonna just do this all in one chunk, hopefully, if I can, if my computer will take it. But that is it for now. I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know if you have any of these pieces. If you're still here, thank you. Let me know if you have any of these pieces and if you're working on them, how you're enjoying them, or if there's any that you're going to start, you're thinking about starting. I would love to hear. So leave me a note down in the comments. Do you like more full coverage? Do you like other stuff? And what have you learned about yourself this year with regards to cross stitching? I'd love to hear. I've given you some of the things that I've learned about myself. And if you have enjoyed what you've seen, I'd really love it if you'd stick around for a while. Click the like and the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you know when I upload new videos, and I'll see you in my next Flossmas video. Okay, bye.